Thanks for joining us. Our guest is Dr. John Marszalek. He's the outgoing executive director of the Grant Library, and this has to be a little bittersweet for you.
Yeah.
You have spent years building this up. You're passing on the baton, but tell us a couple of the accomplishments that you're most proud of.
Well, there have been a lot of things. One of the things I do want to mention is that the university has been terrific. They have just supported us. The president has supported us. Frances Coleman, when she was dean of the library, the new dean of the library. We've had people that have supported us in everything that we've attempted to do. We don't have any money, of course. We never have any money. But one of the things that we do that really helps us a great deal is the very fact that we have people all over the country. Frank Williams, for example, has now donated money to the Grant and to the Lincoln. We've known each other for years, so that's now we've got people coming in who are taking my place and his places, and they're better than we are, truth be told, you know. So we're very fortunate.
Well, you talk about people that have been influential with the program. What about the impact of John Y. Simon's leadership on this?
John Y., I think, John Y., if there's anyone that's responsible for what we've accomplished here, that's John Y. And I'll just tell you a funny story. His wife is still alive, very much alive. She's had some physical problems, but she's still very much alive. And so she helps us a lot, and she helped us a lot with this book that we put on the Grant memoirs. But it's just an amazing thing. What John used to do when he was at Southern Illinois University, he would say, well, what we're going to do is, I know you're going to do some research on your dissertation, so if you would, just please stop about 40 miles out of the way, and we'll take it. So it's just a wonderful thing. He took the material, started at Ohio University, then moved over there, then we moved over here, and it's just been growing and growing and growing. And so we have right now the best collection of Grant material in the world. Nobody can match us.
And how do you see that? What's the role of the library and the Grant Association as you look to the future?
Well, if we look to the future, what's going to happen is we are going to continue doing what we're doing, but adding to what we've already done, what John has already done. John was, as I say, I can't say enough about him, and I can't say enough about Harriet, his wife, because they've just been terrific. They've done things for us, and one of the funny stories about her, one of our editors would call her and get information on the various things. And there was a situation where she would find something, she would help him with various things, and so he'd say, or she would say, well, you know, on page 2 you say such and such, but on page 347 you say something else. Now, I know I shouldn't be telling you what you're doing. You're doing it, but and so on. So she was just a wonderful lady. So we've been very fortunate. We've had good people here. We've had good people in the Grant Association, and it's just been wonderful.
Well, we have to look to the future, though, because
right.
you have and others have spent. This team has spent so much time building this wonderful
right.
legacy and telling that story.
Right.
So what are the marching orders for the next generation of scholars? What do you tell them?
What we tell them is understand that you will never finish your job. You will always have something forward to look to. So, for example, we have things that we find today that we never found, 20 years ago. And so we do this sort of thing, and what the new group will do will be to take the material that we already found and add to it. Just keep adding to it and adding to it. If you go into our cold storage room, which is
I've been there.
Yes, you know.
Stunning collection.
Yes. And so you look down that row and you see all these file cabinets and all this wonderful stuff, and that's important, because people love to see that. And people will say, you got all this here at Mississippi State? That's not possible. It's possible. It's happening. And it's doing, and the future will just make it even greater, I think.
Well, let's talk about that. What do you see in the next decade or 50 years or 100 years?
Yeah.
First of all, you sort of have to look back, and if you look back not that many years ago when the Grant Library was first established here at Mississippi State,
Right, yeah.
did you see it growing and becoming what it is today?
No, never had an idea. We thought we would have some wonderful things because we knew what we were getting from the other university. But it's still an amazing development that we've had. We find things today that you would thought we would have found 20 years ago, or about 12 years ago now. But it all comes down to, I think, not so much that we're finding new things, but we're seeing insights that we never had before, and that I think is important. So, for example, right now we're working on the Grant memoirs. We've done that, and we've got terrific reviews on that. But we're also doing something on the Sherman memoirs, and we're doing that, and that's going to have an enormous impact. And then we have to decide, well, what are we going to do next? We are, to put it bluntly, I guess, the best collection of material on Grant and Sherman in the world. I mean, Grant particularly, which you should talk about Grant, but Grant is the big thing. We have just found things that nobody, so if anybody wants to do anything on Grant, they got to come here. They just have to. If they don't come here and they don't look at it, they haven't done their job.
Well, obviously this is a passion for you, and I
Oh,
don't think
yeah.
it would have gotten done without your passion.
Yeah, right.
So what's next for you?
Well, for me, I don't know. That's a good question. I came to Mississippi State in 1973 to the history department, and knew you, of course, from watching you on TV and watching some other people that are now older than I am. Unfortunately, you're not. But in any case, we still look at what is happening and what has happened to our collection. We never expected it would grow to this. We have the best collection of Grant material in the world, literally. And my favorite story of that is somebody will say, well, I was traveling across country and I heard about you, and I've heard about your thing. Well, I just went, say, 400 miles out of the way and just to see what you have. The only thing that we need badly now is parking. We had parking, but everybody—
Make a note, parking.
Parking, right? But everybody says that, everybody at campus. And we're starting to get more places to park now, so we're doing okay.
Well, and growing pains are sometimes good things to have.
Yes,
because
right.
it tells you you're headed in the right direction.
You're headed in the right direction, and people do come and they look. And we have literally had people come to visit our place that you never would expect would come, and they do. So that's great.
Well, on behalf of all of us who love Grant history and Mississippi State University, thank you so much for all you have done, and good luck in the next chapter.
Well, thank you so much for saying that, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's been a marvelous experience, and Mississippi State is Mississippi State. So we'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.